Hey guys, popping on a little bit early because I am beat today. Been shoveling all day. I don't know about you guys, but shoo, I just made me a nice warm coffee with some chaga and turkey tail that I have brewing. And today we're going to be talking apple cider vinegar with the mother, roots, yogurt, and we are going to go over our monthly mystery box from last month. Hi, Shar. Glad you're on. I'm going to try to watch the comments a little bit. I'm going to start doing more videos, guys, but I'm going to get my laptop out and try to start communicating more on here. But since I'm doing a video, I figured I'd do a couple things because a couple people have been asking. So I'm going to do a recap on my apple cider vinegar. I made 8 gallons of this back on November 19th. So it's been a little bit over 2 months, and technically it's ready, but I brew mine for 6 months. But I'm going to go over this real quick. So you just get some apples, nice organic apples. If you're going to be making this with it, you got to get good apples. I use an apple peeler corer, and I clean all my apples, and I take all of the waste and I put it into my jar, and I make whatever I want. I made apple cobbler, apple crisp, pie filling, all kinds of stuff with the apples. This is just the scraps, so you fill it all the way to the top. Every jar you want to make. I did, like I said, 8 gallons, so I just had all my jars open, filled them to the top, cores, seeds, everything. Fill them up to the top with distilled water, and you add, what do I add in there? A half a cup of raw pure cane sugar. And in the end, it's not going to have any sugar in it because what happens is it eats the sugar and it turns into probiotics, and you know, there's no sugar in the end product. So, and with mine, I have a special 130-year-old mother. Let's see, I have actually 2 of them, and I'll show you. Here's one. It's crazy because right now they're actually regrowing. Here's the other one. And when they regrow, they have another baby. This one's actually letting loose of one right here. There's 2. If you can see in there. Try to get it in the light. I don't know. But anyway, so I had 2 of these to start with because it had a baby, and I usually give them to other people, so they have a 130-year Amish mother, and we can keep this species going because it's actually a living thing. So when my dog got sick, I had used up all the vinegar in this jar. There was like this much left, and the mother was barely alive in there, but she was good. And then when I made my vinegar, you don't have to do this part because your vinegar, when you make it, will make its own mother, but I wanted it to have this mother. So I used all of this, and this mother too just had like this much in there. So they've been barely staying alive for a couple months. But everyone asked me how I freshen them up. So when this hits the 2-month mark, I actually take and fill these jars up to the top, and they're going through transformation right now. I'll show you them again when they get all nice and lively, but they're definitely transforming right now. So that's how I do it. And then they turn into 2, and then you can give one away or separate them, whatever you want to do. It's not a SCOBY, it's actually the mother. But yeah, this is what it looks like. It's technically done, but I do my apple cider vinegar for 6 months in a cool, dark place. And I keep my mothers in a cool, dark place too. And I like I said, when my dog was sick, I pulled this out. Like if I ever have a dire situation and I want the good stuff, I pull these out, and I'm not afraid to use them. And let's see. Another thing, I'm going to be working on some things today, so I figured I'd just pop on and just show you a little bit. But I've got some root vegetables that I finally got my hands on, and I'll show you what I got over here. I'm going to be working on these within the next week or so. So I'll do videos on them all, but I figured I'd just touch base with you. So I have some yucca root, and this is what they look like. And these are all medicinal. All have anti-cancer, anti-tumor. I mean, look them up, guys, because I'm not going to sit and go over everything with everybody, but look these up. These are yucca root. And then I've got ginger root. Some new ginger root to start, and I'm starting some seedlings, so I'm going to be getting these going too. I've got some turmeric root. And these are all just amazing things to have. And if you have just a little bit, you can grow them forever and ever. So cheap once you have them to start with. And these are taro root. And these, oh my God, they smell so good, but you can't eat them raw. They're kind of comparable to a potato, but they're sweet and creamy. And they look like a baby coconut almost, but they're like a nutty vanilla. So good. Can't wait to play with those. So that's going to be going on, and when we do, I'll get on here. I've got some of my white pine here because that's what our mystery box was. And then yogurt. I don't know if you do yogurt all the time, but I'm Greek, so we grew up eating yogurt. We usually do it with honey, pomegranate when they're in season, but it's really good with honey. A nice treat for the kids. So get yourself a good yogurt, organic. This is the one I got. God, it's hard to find just a plain organic, but this one, you know, not treated with hormones, no antibiotics. This is the best I could get, so that's what I'm working with. So go ahead and eat your yogurt. I'm going to do a gallon of milk. I'm going to get, one of our stores down in the corner has raw milk, so I'm going to get some raw whole milk and 4 tablespoons of yogurt to a gallon of milk. So go ahead and eat your yogurt and just save that last little bit, and it'll be on there on video, but if you want to get yourself some yogurt, we'll be doing that soon. So, okay, so this is the mystery box for January, and we have a Build Your Own Home Apothecary. It's a monthly subscription box. Last month was white pine, and it's $25, available in the U.S. only. If you want to join in, just give me a call. I'm doing this basically so you can start building your own home apothecary. The things that they've already gotten just in December and January, you have more things than most, you have better things than most herbalists have actually already. And, you know, I actually forage for or grow my things. I don't buy them. So that's another good thing with this stuff. So let's see. Everybody got a little white pine sapling, and I saw a few of you planted them already, and I put the born on date when I got them out of the woods. And yeah, I hope you enjoy growing your white pine. And if you don't want it to get big, you can grow it into a Christmas tree, or you can actually bonsai it. Like if you keep it in a smaller pot, you can even make a bonsai out of it. Or you can just let it get big and plant it outside and have a pine tree, or, you know, depending on what you want to do. And I made a swag for everybody. And I did this just so you can basically learn to ID some of the conifers out there. All of these are edible, so you can hang this up in your house and it makes a nice little piece, or it's actually all medicine if you want to use it and make something out of it. It's all edible, and this one's not marked because it's mine, but I did mark everybody's. But here, right here is the white pine. There's a piece of white pine, and you know it's white pine because it has 5 needles, W-H-I-T-E, 5. And they're a little thinner than this one. This one's red pine. And these are a little firmer needles and thicker. And they're longer, And actually, I like these for medicine, the red pine, because I just feel like they're just so much more to them. And there's 2 needles per each on the red pine. And this is a white pine cone. And all the pine cones look different and stuff, but this is white pine. Also on here I have fir. There's different firs, but these have flat needles all the way across. They're flat. I don't know if you can get a good look at it, but they're totally flat. And then this one is hemlock. And these are flatter, smaller needles. But they also have all these little baby pine cones. And there's a couple different kinds of hemlocks. But all of these are edible and medicinal. So you can save them, like I said, if you want to do tea or medicine with them, you can do that as well. So whatever you want to do. There's options. And here's, I showed you, here's some of these hemlock pine cones, just so you can see the scope of them. They're just really small. But I wanted you to see, like, so you can kind of start to ID these things out in the woods. So I put everything in a bag this time just because of the pine being in there. I didn't want everything to get sap on it. So let's see, I'm going to just dump this out right here. Okay, let's see. Just going to kind of put this stuff in some kind of loose order so I can go over these. Okay, so of course everybody got some white pine needles that you can make tea with, tincture, all kinds of different things. Look up white pine. So many possibilities. I did white pine just like I did mullein because it's winter, it's in season for foraging. You always want to harvest your conifers in the winter time when it's cold outside. And I also, I don't wash these off. I just make sure I'm really careful and I get clean ones when I'm out in the woods. But I do put them in the freezer for a week just to break down the cellular walls on them all. It just helps get all the nutrients out of the conifers just the way I was taught. So that's what I do. So white pine needles. And I gave you a little bit of white pine bark, just so you, and this is medicinal too, and I use every part of what I get. I try not to waste. So when I took the needles off, these are the little twigs that came off, the needles came off of, and I use these too. And you can use them as well. Look it up. And then everybody got some pine pollen, which is hours and hours of foraging. So I hope you appreciate this. But pine pollen is good for estrogen, testosterone. It's actually like the Viagra of the woods. So lots of info. It's very medicinal. Do some research on it. Pine pollen is very good for you. And this way you can get to know it too. Some pine sap, resin. And this too is also really medicinal. Look it up. Let's see, I'm going to put this over here. And then everybody got a do-it-yourself white pine soda. So there's in here is a jar with some white pine needles in it. All you have to do is fill it up to the top with distilled water or good water. Put it in a warm place or in your windowsill for 3 to 5 days. Or I'm sorry, first you got to add the raw sugar that I gave you. If you don't want to use the raw sugar, you can also use honey or maple syrup. And you could add things to it, but I just did it simple because I want you to really just get to know the pine and get the taste of the pine. So anyway, I made a different one for me. And I put this in here on Friday. And you can see it's fizzing up. It's ready for me to drink it. You can see the color change in it. Shaking it up. It's really fun when you put it in a swing top bottle, but you know, I went with the jars instead, but you can see it. And in a minute, I'll pour it out and we can drink it. So yeah, do it your own, do it yourself, pine soda. And I know a couple people tried it. Let me know how you liked it if you did. If not, I'm excited for you to try it because it's really good and it's really good for you too. And then I gave everyone some red pine bark, which, that way you can ID it, but this red pine bark is medicinal too. And it's really, really pretty. You'll see it on the forest floor. It's just really metallic looking, and it's really beautiful. You can tell it's medicinal just by the way it looks. And when you harvest it, you can just get the stuff that falls around the tree. You don't have to hurt the tree or nothing like that. I just am always on the lookout for it when I'm out there. Let's see, what else did we get? We got some black drawing salve. And this is the black salve that I make for cancer, tumors, splinters, whatever, any kind of skin issues, not open wounds, but black drawing salve. Look it up. I have my own recipe. There's other recipes, but the stuff is a process to make, and it's amazing. It's something that everyone should have around. Black drawing salve. And then some clove. Some clove. Clove is really good for you too. I drink it all the time in tea. It's also good with the black walnut and wormwood for a parasite cleanse. But look up clove. Clove is another thing that you should always have around. One little clove is so powerful. And a turkey tail mushroom. Let's see. And these are immune system modulators, also good against cancer. All kinds of different things, but they look like little turkey tails. And they have a white back. They're kind of thin and fuzzy. These have been curing for a while, but definitely when you, if you see these around, definitely get these for your arsenal, but definitely be responsible when you're harvesting too, guys. Take what you need. And some marshmallow root, which you could make a little batch of real good marshmallows, or the reason it's in here is because it's also really soothing for the intestines, the throat, everything. Just it's really good soothing for everything. Coats everything nice with mucilage or mucilage. I can't even say it right now, but marshmallow root, look it up. What else? And some cayenne pepper, one of my favorites. I actually keep it in my purse. You can actually use this topically for open wounds to stop the bleeding, which I've done many a times with dog bites and kitties coming in. But it's definitely something to have around for an emergency situation. Also with animals or people having like a heart attack or a stroke, like a little bit of this to the gums. It definitely, I mean, if all else fails, this is something great to like jerk the body back into, gets the blood flowing and makes you come alive. So I also, let me see, I also take it daily. I have this, is jalapeno peppers with honey, raw honey, and cayenne pepper, and I take a teaspoon of that every day. I'm actually running kind of low, but good stuff right there. And my kitty, let's see, hold on, kitty, because you're right on here. And some castor oil. Castor oil is another thing, just amazing in itself. Look it up. So you could actually put a little bit of this in with your castor oil for a topical, for pain. Look them both up. Let's see. And then, my little kitty. A little baby mini notebook to put your notes in for your apothecary and things that you're doing. A little pen. And an apothecary sticker. So, that was the mystery box for last month. I hope you guys liked it all. Let's see, kitty. Okay, let's see. We're going to see if Kitty's going to be good enough for us to do the rest of this. I want to do... Let me see, I do have a couple notes here. I want to make sure I touch base on it all. Okay, I did. So, our mystery box for this month, for February, is Staghorn Sumac. And this is it. And boy, I've gotten some hell from all kinds of people for teaching people what Staghorn Sumac is. And this is amazing stuff. I'm going to be writing my 9th children's book about Staghorn Sumac on Wednesday. And I've been putting some stuff in the group too. So if you see anything on Staghorn Sumac, check it out. It's just an amazing, amazing herb that it's just been lost. Its history has been lost, but you're going to learn about it this month. And honestly, anything I post in the group, there's a reason for my madness, honestly. Like, anything I post, it's because, like, I could do a video of that. Like, I mean, I just don't post willy-nilly. I actually put a lot of thought into everything that I post, whether it's written or just a random post, because it's a video that I either do or I believe in. You know, like, there's a reason I'm posting it. So take them to heart when I do. So here's my pine soda. I'm going to shake it up. Okay. And all you got to do once it's ready, didn't pop real good like the swing cap, but it popped. When I'm doing stuff at home, I just basically use these two little strainers are my go-to. Like, this is what I always use because I don't really, you know, I'm not really caring if I get a little bit in there myself. But I'm just going to pour it into the cup. Oh, of course I'm making a mess. And cheers. Oh boy. It's so good, you guys. You really make you some pine needle soda. Is so good. So good for you. Why drink pop and crap like juice? Like, you could be drinking this. Try it. Here's the sumac, what the berries look like. I could have put some of that in there. I could have put whatever. But man, try it with just the white pine, because so good. So good and so refreshing. So, yeah. Sumac. Staghorn Sumac. Look it up. That's our herb of the month. And stay tuned. We got a lot going on this month, so stay tuned. Have a good night.